Hello and welcome to At Your Service from the Center for Hospitality and Culinary Studies at Howard Community College. Today I'm going to be talking to a couple of guests that are actually students. Both are students in the hospitality program, and I'm going to introduce you to them and let them introduce themselves. First up, we have Shelby Adams.
Hi, I'm Shelby Adams, and I am currently a HCC student for hospitality management, and I am in my final year. I am also an intern here.
Great, thank you for joining us, Shelby. And next we have Leslie Valencia.
Hello, my name is Leslie Valencia, and I'm also a hospitality management student. I'm here on my final semester, and I'm actually graduating my associates this semester.
Well, congratulations to both of you. You have done the work, and it's all about getting the reward at the end, and that's graduating. So, I know you guys have been working on some special projects as part of your internship coursework, which is great to see. And let's talk a little bit about the Pineapple Society. Shelby, you want to tell me about that and what it does and what it's all about?
Sure. So, the hospitality society that we've been working on is actually called Pineapple Passion Society, or PPS is how we like to refer to it. It is going to be essentially similar to a club, or what we have here on campus is Step Up, which is a community that reaches out and mentors students. But Pineapple Passion is for strictly any student in the CHCS program, which includes pastry, hospitality, and culinary students. Leslie and I have decided that that kind of club is definitely needed in our program, since unfortunately we don't always have access to a mentor or a peer of some sort that's already taken the classes that we may need help in. And this pretty much strands from our freshman years where we had to figure everything else for ourselves. And we thought, let's make it easier on the future ones. And so we made this club, and that's really what it's all about.
Great. So you'll serve as a point of contact for new students coming in and students in the program that are looking to make connections. So networking, meeting each other, sharing, all those things are going to happen in the Pineapple Society. Pineapple Passion Society, PPS, right? I want to make sure I get
Yes.
that right. Pineapple Passion Society. So great. And Leslie, you both have been working on a big ceremony that's coming up called the Pineapple Pinning Ceremony. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So the pineapple pinning ceremony is to honor those, like you mentioned before, everyone, all those students who have put in the work to be able to graduate with a degree or a certificate, and that also consists of culinary, pastry, and hospitality management. This is pretty much a ceremony where it's congratulating them, and as a reward, they end up getting a pineapple pin, which represents hospitality as a whole, and they also end up getting a ribbon as well, stating that they've done a great job for it.
Great. That's so interesting to plan ceremonies. Has your skills and classes that you've taken been able to assist you in any of this planning for either one? Shelby, you want to go first?
Sure. So the class I'm actually currently taking is called Event and Wedding Management or Planning. And they teach you how to plan events, plan weddings, and manage them well. I'm taking that course mostly to help me plan the ceremony and how to build the club and be an effective leader, along with learning proper time management with so many different factors. I've also taken just various classes. I will definitely say the classes I've taken previously have led up to this, including Intro to Hospitality, and dining room service as well has really taught me a lot about the industry and what students need to be aware of for when they leave. So that's what we will implement. And the ceremony, this will, like you said, congratulate them for the hard work that they've put in and everything like that.
So you're able to apply those learning outcomes directly to the event that you guys are producing. That's
Yes.
awesome. Leslie, what out in the program has stood out to you as something that you did not expect coming in?
I would honestly say the networking, even though I personally didn't know was starting this career path that Turf Valley is actually one of our sponsors and supporters with helping this whole concept grow and blossom. And it's really nice to know, just like Shelby said, I'm also taking that event and wedding class. And for that class, we actually have to plan a wedding for our project, our end of the year semester project. And I actually reached out to Turf Valley, and it was very easy to communicate with them because they have that affiliation with Howard. I did try with other vendors and other venues to try to see, and they honestly didn't make it that easy for me to actually be able to communicate and get that information. So having these kind of connections, and like I said, the network that this whole school and just this program allows you, lets you get that real life experience that you need to better further and educate yourself, not only in academic but in career paths as well.
Very cool. I like it. So networking definitely pays off. And those are lasting relationships, right? It's something you can start here, but then later on, you can still have that point of contact. You can reach back. They can reach and contact you if they have something specific that they know that you're capable of handling or doing. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to be able to share with community businesses like Turf Valley that are supporters of the program as well. So that's excellent. So Shelby, I want to know, what are your future plans? Where are you going once you graduate? That's coming up right around the corner.
Yeah, so my future plans is to still continue my education. I do wish to get my bachelor's and hopefully my master's. But for now, after I graduate, I am deciding between two colleges. Both are out of state, but have really good hospitality programs for me. But I also will be working my way into the industry so that I can start getting that work experience and applying what I've learned to real life. And that way, once I graduate, if any of the students that eventually do join Pineapple Passion Society, they have a point of contact with an alumni that's taken all their classes and knows how the industry works.
Sounds good. And I understand you're also active on the advisory committee as a student representative. So that's another good thing for networking, that you're able to connect and share with other industry professionals that are possibly looking for people like you in the future to work for them or work with them. That's very cool that you've got that connection as a student representative on the advisory committee. Okay, Leslie, you're up. Where are you going? What you doing? What's the next steps?
So after I graduate, I actually applied to two schools as well, and I did strictly just decide to do online. It works a little better with the whole concept of life at the moment. So I did get accepted into Johnson and Wales online, and that's actually where I've decided to go. I started the process of transferring credits and what I need to get done to start the semester off right. I've been talking to my advisor there. She's absolutely amazing. Um, Education wise, I do want to go for my bachelor's for hospitality management and want to try to make a minor in HR as well. I was looking at the curriculum a couple weeks ago, and I actually realized that I had taken a lot of my degree here had consisted of a lot of the classes that the certificates consisted of. So in the back of my mind, I've been deciding whether or not to come back and take the rest of those courses to actually get my certificate in event planning and in in restaurant management as well. So Chef Banks, you may see me again in a year or so trying to pursue that. But as of right now, I am working in retail. I have worked in retail since the start of my working career, and I've learned a lot from that. I believe that the experiences that I've learned working in retail has helped me learn the industry of hospitality a little better. But just like Shelby said, as I continue my education, I do want to start focusing on trying to get into the industry a little more. And I'm hoping that I'm able to do that, especially after I graduate with my bachelor's.
Awesome. Well, you know the doors are always open, and we would love to have you for more certificates in events and restaurant management. You know, sometimes more is really better to help propel you onto your career path of your desires. So that's great. You both have very bright futures in store for you. I can tell just from the conversation that you've got clear direction about where you see yourselves and where you want to be. And it's great that Howard Community College could be a part of that in your lives. So, this is my next big question for you guys. If you could change something about the program at Howard Community College in the hospitality area, what would you change? Shelby, go first.
Oh, that's a good question, Chef Banks. There's always room for improvement no matter what program it is, whether it's
Mhm.
hospitality, culinary, or pastry. That's what I've really learned. But for hospitality, I think the biggest change might be to really implement what the students are learning. From what I've noticed from my peers, is that a lot of us do have mutual learning ways of learning, whether that be usually mostly hands-on versus textbook. We want to apply ourselves. We want to know how it works. Figure out what doesn't work, what does work, what do we need to change. Keep that flow. I'd really like to see if we had more involvement in the school, whether that's helping plan an event or at least shadowing those events with the students and make that voluntary because, life does happen. Not all students are available if it was a class. Another change I think I'd like to see is if students had more availability to tutors. I do notice that sometimes some of these classes can be very difficult, and though our professors, including yourself, Chef Banks, are always available, willing to help us and everything like that, just you have your own lives too. You are, even though you're teachers, you are people. You have your own families and things like that, so you're not always available. I think if we had more hospitality related tutors, that might also help.
That's a great idea, is to have area specific tutors that could help with the actual core work of what you're doing and then more simulated activity. That's what I'm hearing, right? So more
Yes.
hands-on, more things like mock check-ins or mock event planning, things that would make sense as part of your tangible outcomes. We do have the dining room experience, which touches on a lot of things face to face in a lab environment, but it would be great to have some other opportunities to express in hospitality learning as hands-on versus just a lecture. So excellent answer. I appreciate it. I'm going to throw it to you, Leslie, and you tell me, what would you like to see change within the Center for Hospitality and Culinary Studies?
First of all, I would love for it to be emphasized more than just the basement or the first floor. I think that we do have a lot of potential down here, honestly, and it's pretty sad to know that a lot of the students don't even know that we're actually down here. Like I remember last semester, the pastry class or the pastry department used to have pastries down here every other Tuesday, and that was bringing in more attention to what truly does happen down here. So I would like to see more of those type of events to help us kind of like spread our wings. But I would also like for the whole school for that to be developed not here in just academic commons, but throughout the whole school. I feel like a lot of the times, unfortunately, we get overshadowed by nursing and by like other degrees and things like that that we don't really hear much about it. Like if it wasn't personally for me knowing about this or wanting to look into it, that HCC does have hospitality, culinary, and pastry, I don't think that I'd actually be aware of it. I know a couple weeks ago we were upstairs during Club Rush Week, and a lot of people were very surprised, but they were also a little excited with knowing that we have degrees available and we have certificates. So a lot of the times it's just being able to put ourselves out there, or just spreading awareness at that point, where people can have the opportunity to major in other things, but also have potentially a certificate in what we specialize down here.
That's great to hear. Excellent feedback and comment. Especially like this platform, right? Just by doing this, it's an opportunity for people to learn about where we are, what we do, and how we function, and to hear it from students. I think students benefit so much when they hear the message or opportunities that exist within the college from other students. Word of mouth is the best tool, often to get out there and let people know you guys are making that impression by creating the Pineapple Passion Society. That's going to be an influence on getting more attention and eyes. The pineapple pinning ceremony, I know you guys have picked the date for it, and it's going to be a semi-private slash public event because we're going to hold it in an area. We'll actually have foot traffic and spectators, and people will see that event actually taking place. So this is excellent, and I appreciate you guys. So I've got just a couple more questions for you, and then I'll let you go, I promise. Shelby, my question for you is, how do you find navigating the services here on campus, from financial aid to admissions to anything? Do you find that to be pretty easy? And how do you feel about email?
So the services on campus, I actually find relatively easy. Everyone here is extremely helpful and always open to helping the students and always finding the best route for them, making sure they're on track and everything like that. Financial aid, the ladies there are so helpful and so nice. There are plenty of times where I've had to ask them questions about my own financial aid, and they're more than willing to help, even if it's something that needs to get done very fast. They will always, they'll put you in a room and do one-on-one talks with you. And they also have computers available that in like a cubicle so that no one else can see your information. But that way you can turn in any paperwork that needs to be done. We do have also student services, which do have a couple tutors in there and almost like private advisors for certain students to make sure that what they're doing is something they truly love, something that will benefit them, matches them well. Just the services on here are amazing. That's definitely for sure.
Great. Sounds good. Leslie, how about you? How's your journey been since you started?
Um, when I first started, I used to use the resources all the time. Like I used to go to an advisor to just talk about the process of starting this, what were the best classes to take, and just the overall overview of my academic career here. When it comes to financial aid, they were very helpful. They used to always reach out to me through email and would even allow me to make appointments with them to have one-on-one conversations as well. I have used the mentoring program that they have over there. And when it comes to general classes, they definitely did help. Like I know at one point I was struggling with accounting, and I was able to meet up with a mentor every other week and just be able to improve myself on those in that class. So I think that overall it does the resources that they provide do definitely help out when it comes to that. Like we did mention before, though, it would be nice for us to have specialized mentors for specific classes when it comes to our degrees. But thankfully, like mentioned before, our professors, including you, have been very open-minded to being able to assist us and helping guide us to the right steps. So overall, I do think that the services have been great. Now, there is always room for improvement, but for sure, I mean, I have nothing much to complain, honestly.
Great. Well, good to hear. Excellent feedback again. So we're getting to the end. So for our final thought, let's go ahead and circle back to Pineapple Passion Society. I'm a new student. I'm a freshman. I just registered for Hospitality 101, and I'm excited. What would I need to do to become a part of Pineapple Passion Society? And Shelby.
So, to join Pineapple Passion Society, what will happen is that the mentors and the professors that are working with us, they will already have a list of the new students. So, we'll already have your names available to us. And what we'll do is you'll actually attend your first class and it'll be mentioned. Your professor will do almost they'll schedule a meeting where mentors will come in, will explain the entire basis of what Pineapple Passion Society is, from what achievements you will get if you graduate finishing our degrees and certificates, but then also we do orientation so that you can see all of campus and then all of the programs available, all the rooms that they work in, including lecture halls, the kitchens, and everything like that. We provide tutoring services, so you'll be explained. It will be explained in that entire day. It'll be one day where you will have the choice to actually continue on with Pineapple Passion, or you can choose not to join us. But we really do hope you do.
Well, great. That's great information on how to join the group for Pineapple Passion Society. And for pineapple pinning, can you give me an idea of what some of the planning goes into that, Leslie, about the organizational side of it? Pulling all the information together. How does it start? What do you have to do? And working towards the big day, what are all the pieces that need to be done?
To start off, we definitely need to figure out the specifics on where it'll be located, how many people can attend, and then from there, we get a list of the advisory team who we would potentially want. Like I know this semester we wanted there to actually be speakers and them to just speak on the whole program as a whole. So we make a list of everyone who would potentially be able to come to the ceremony. We get a list of the students graduating as well, and then we have to accommodate based on how many guests. So we make that count as well. Then it comes to getting in touch with a lot of people when it comes to like the staging, the prompts, things like that. If we have a budget, then we also have to keep that in mind on what we can accommodate based on decor. Then for the most part, once we get these approved RSVPs and everything, we set a due date by when we have all this. We have pretty much like a checklist of when we want all this to be accomplished by, when we want everything to be planned out. That way at the end, we can review it, and little by little, we can start getting a visual. So I know right now one of our interns has the pretty much the job to come up with a layout of what the whole ceremony is expected to look like. We also come up with specifics, like if anyone needs name tags, or what are we projecting on the screen while everyone is talking, and if there's going to be specific a color theme and things like that. So a lot of things do go into it, but as long as we have a checklist in the beginning and we kind of follow that schedule, then it definitely does make it a lot easier, and it allows us to know who we have to come in contact. We can also contact them based on how much time we need to let them know these changes in advance, and all of that.
Great. Well, it sounds like you guys got a plan. How many people work on that team?
So
At the
right
moment,
now, for the
There you go.
it
Go,
is
Shelby. Or
it's
Leslie.
the
Go, Leslie.
right now it's the two of us. We also have Mia, which is our other intern, and we have Loye. We are working with Professor Kenny also, and it's really just been all of us just figuring it out all together and coming together to be able to come up with something big.
Okay. So whenever I end a class, I always say, does anyone have any great thoughts, best wishes, questions? Do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me? I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Oh, I'll go
honestly,
first.
I don't really. Yeah, so you go first.
Okay.
Okay. I know you asked the Chef Banks what's in the future for us. So what's in the future for you?
Oh, what's in the future for me? Well, the future can be very unknown sometimes. I recently had a position change here at the college where I was the department chair of the Center for Hospitality and Culinary Studies, and I'm now the interim acting dean of the Business and Computers Division. So we'll see how it goes. So far, everything is going pretty smoothly. I've been in the job for about 2 weeks. So other than lots of emails, lots of meetings, and lots of phone calls, it's just very much more of the same. It amplifies what I was doing at a chair, just doing it in a different area. So Shelby, last question.
So my question for you was just like Leslie, what's in the future? But instead, what's in the future for our department? For hospitality, is there any like something secret that maybe you could tell us that might be changing or anything like that?
Well, I wish I could build a hotel that overlooks the lake in the back, and we would have a hotel room and a lobby and a check-in, but I can't. So, as far as changes moving forward, is that we're launching some new marketing strategies for our area. So, you will see some ads, some content, social media presence has improved. I don't know if you've seen any crawlers across your Facebook screen or across your Instagram page, where you'll see now engaging pieces from the college with hospitality, culinary, and other areas amplified in advertising and marketing. So you're definitely going to see more of that moving forward. That's an initiative that we're actively working on to promote our program. And we're also looking at how do we influence our internal customer as well as our external customer. So that piece of advertising inside to students, to other areas, to bring awareness to our focal point, to our center that we exist and what we do in the area is vital and important. And there may be someone out there interested in culinary or baking and pastry or hospitality that just hasn't stumbled upon us. We want to do more directional opportunities, showing them and leading them to where we are. And so the future looks bright for us. We're hoping that as we come out of industry change, the industry has gone through a lot of changes, that we mirror that moving forward in our educational opportunities and our learning outcomes. That's always the goal, is to build and improve, constantly changing, constantly morphing, and trying to become better. So we're about to wrap, and I want to say, Leslie and Shelby, thank you both for taking your time to spend with me today. I've been educated on Pineapple Passion Society, which I think is going to be valuable and bring a lot of new students and interest our way. And I also think the pineapple pinning ceremony is a big deal to be celebrated. We had to do one last year that was virtual, which was very different. So returning to a face-to-face environment and having an actual participated event will be great. I think we're scheduled for the morning versus the evening, which will be good because we're going to change the part of day and get a chance for people to see us from another vantage point, right? We won't be so siloed. We'll be more open and welcoming with the location for your venue. So I really appreciate it. Again, you guys have done a great job here at the college. Your hard work is paying off. I can see and hear you guys have great futures planned ahead, and I wish you all the very best. So I want to say thank you to Leslie. Thank you to Shelby for joining me this afternoon. And we're going to wrap up at your service here from the Center for Hospitality and Culinary Studies. You guys have a great afternoon.